But
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in Apocalypse Keys, part 16 of our Apocalypse Keys adventure. Today is March 31st, 2024, also known as Trans Visibility Day, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audio casts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to again join us at patreon.com/indooradventures. But let's say you already support us on Patreon. You already support us on YouTube and Twitch and all of those other wonderful spaces, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? Guess what, Acorns? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks. We even have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, or we also have these You Are Loved t-shirts and designs that we have for a variety of orientations. I used to have a You Are Loved Ace shirt, but then my partner took it because that's just sort of how those things work, which means I'm in the market for a second one, and I know exactly where to go to get it. But
is there an inverse landscape orientation?
Inverse landscape? I don't know.
Oh, shit. I'll talk to Wings about it.
Okay, sounds good. I'm sure there is, but I don't know what that means off the top of my head. With that being said, all of the proceeds of our merchandise currently goes to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So hey, Noir, who are you playing today?
I'm playing Judas Iscariot. Both me and Judas. Okay, I'm sorry. You used your claws on that, you dickhead. We both go by eBay. And he's never done anything wrong ever. Can I ask a question on my intro? I know it's a little different, but if Trans Day had like a Santa or an Easter bunny, like what would it be? And that's how I'll end my intro.
I mean, there's already eggs because it's Trans Day of Visibility.
So the wrap.
We doubled up on our holidays. I'm Anita. My pronouns are she, they, and tonight I will be playing Dynast or Din, whose pronouns are whatever you feel in the moment. Gender is fake and God is dead. That's it for me.
I thought the point of today, well, part of it was that he's risen, but I don't know anymore.
I mean,
I just went to Catholic
Happy Easter
school,
from
who
Judas
knows?
Iscariot, I guess.
Yeah, happy Easter from Judas Iscariot. I love it. Hey everybody, it's me, SirHeckaLot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen, and as per usual, I'm back with Eden, who is the Found Playbook. The two of us use she/they pronouns, and you know, I've thought about this since I think the beginning of the Ghostbusters campaign. Has anybody bought an Indoor Adventures clock? And
No.
if not, one of someone at this table needs to become the first owner of the Indoor Adventures clock, because that has always blown my mind. It's like, who's out there buying that? I don't know.
It's there.
It's there.
I got wall space.
Hey.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes, Chris, there are clocks. I don't say it as a joke. All of those things that are available in that intro are available on the Redbubble store.
And if you would like to give this whole cast an Easter present, feel free to Venmo or Ko-Fi us all of the money required to buy clocks, and we could all have a clock in our background.
We could.
Well,
we could.
We'll turn this into the clock app. How you like that, TikTok?
Hello, I am the Indoor Adventure, he, him, and tonight I will be playing as Lucius Alexander, who uses the Hungry playbook, goes by he, they.
And that just leaves me. Hey everyone, I grew my hair out overnight, aka I made TikToks for too long and I didn't have time to fix my hair or shower. I am Sarah Roberts. I will be your keeper of doors for this evening. I use any pronouns. And I don't have any announcements this morning, so why don't we roll that beautiful beam footage?
Yes! Yeah!
There are things that go bump in the night, and we are the ones who bump back.
Location: Division HQ, basement, date, redacted, contact, Marcus Finch, assistant archivist, Omen class monsters. A rogue interdimensional spatial entity has attached itself to Division HQ, designated the Parasitic Library. The entity has begun siphoning off valuable intel from the archives, leaving voids in Division's key records relating to already contained doors of the apocalypse. Harbinger class monsters' involvement is suspected behind the security breach. Should whoever brought the library to Division recover the siphoned information from within the library, they will be armed with the knowledge needed to unlock those doors. What led the library here, and dislodge it from Division before these apocalypses have a chance to be unleashed, and the Harbinger claims the
So there I was sending out messages that said pussy in bio on Twitter. Oh, hi everybody. We are back and we are so excited to be here.
It's the struggles of selling a used waffle iron. I don't know how else to describe it.
I don't know either. And then, you get the one to go with it that has the good morning pancakes. Oh, I'm sorry. We are a bunch of degenerates here, everybody. So last time, you all made your way into the Parasitic Library and you began walking about. Last we left off with Noir spotting a former agent of Division. And I think that's where we are going to pick up tonight because I just had a brain fart. And that's all I can remember in this moment.
Oh, I got you. So they are
Okay.
a member of the team that I was originally here with.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you see this person from across the way. Their dark hair is streaked with gray. They look as though it has been a long time since they slept. Their clothing is 15, 20 years out of date, but you see a Division badge swinging from the pocket of their jacket. You approach them?
I'm going to it's gonna turn to Aoife first and go, I'm gonna go have a conversation. Don't do anything stupid.
First of all, I have a doctorate. I don't do anything that's stupid.
Oh,
Second of
gosh.
all, I'm going with you.
All right, full transparency. I may or may not have been on a team with this individual. And at some point, I may or may not have left them to die. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of welcome I'm due for.
Okay, tread lightly. Got it. And Joe, as you say this, you try to reach for this person's name in your memory, and you realize that your memory of them is almost dreamlike, as though bits of it have been lost over time, not faded with age. This is something that was given up almost like your memories of making an agreement with a certain individual about events that had to happen.
Uh, well, shit. It probably wasn't important. All right. Howdy. How do you do there, friend?
Oh, finally a rescue party. You are from Division, aren't you? All seem you seem oddly familiar. Perhaps we've met before. It appears I've lost more time than I've thought.
Oh,
It can't be
okay.
too long since I've been trapped here, right?
Well, one, good news. Yes, I'm division. Two, additional good news. Uh, depending on my disposition, sure, I could be a rescue party. Uh, three, who are you exactly, and how did you get stuck here? It's just kind of feeling out to
Um,
see what they can remember.
uh, well, um, I came here with
Mhm.
others. Uh, my name I I Jen Fable. I don't know if that's true or not. It feels right, but I kind of took it.
All right, well, um, you don't have any inclinations to, I don't know, kill me or kill my friend here, do you?
Why would I kill you?
Well, just check it. Sometimes, the mood hits. I know sometimes it hits for me for sure.
Um okay, I'll keep that in mind. No. I've just been searching for the door out and through the stacks. I'm sure I can find
Hmm.
I'm sure I can find my memories if I look long enough. If I look hard enough, I can find them. I'm sure I can.
Well, let's focus on getting you out of here first, and then you can make some new ones.
I
Remembering
no, no,
stuff is overrated.
I can't leave yet. I can't.
Oh,
I can find the door, but I can't. I have to find what I lost. I can't. I need. How can I not? How can I leave? I need to know who I am. Doesn't everyone know who they are? I
uh,
don't.
I'm gonna have him try to do a reveal your heart.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll with two darkness tokens,
Okay.
and we're gonna perfect hit. And so
Fantastic.
he's gonna go first. Calm down. You're making me look bad in front of my friend. Second, knowing who you are is overrated. What if you were an asshole? You were probably an asshole. So good news.
It was.
Fresh start. You don't have to be an asshole anymore.
Oh, okay.
All right. So stick with me. We'll all get out. And then the first memory you could have is getting drinks with my friend Mothman.
With your okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Drinks with Mothman. Is that a last name?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
All right. So deep breath. All right. I've got some friends here. We're doing a whole division thing, so we've got a few errands to run before we get everybody out of here. So,
I can help. I can, and they pull out a large piece of paper and they unfurl it in front of you. They have mapped an extensive amount of this library accurately.
You know, that's pretty useful. That makes me not hate you. I like that. Need
I,
need to find more of that.
you don't hate me. Okay. All right. If there's something specific you're looking for, we can use this to try and find it, I guess. And Aoife chimes in over your shoulder. Him saying that he doesn't hate you is kind of like getting the thumbs up. Don't think too much about it.
Don't act like you can decipher what it's not important. Let's hey guys, I found a person. They got a map.
You hear a chirp on your radio. It's Marcus Finch. Is someone shouting? Is everything okay? And you all hear this message come through.
Oh, I didn't forget that I had a radio. I just said that I found a person they have a map.
Oh, okay. Cool. Anything else to report in?
You set up camp by the door, correct? You still have eyes on the exit?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna bring over my friend Fable here, and we're gonna see about getting the hell out of here. They've been here for a while.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm by the door.
All right, I'm gonna make my way. I just don't like you. I'm gonna make my way to you.
Okay, you start making your way to the door. The rest of you hear this come over your radio. You hear the full conversation. Someone named Fable being taken back to the door. Eden and Lucius, you were in the observatory, I believe, last time. Seeing a glimpse of the first mission that you all went on together to go to base 001, I believe it was. Seeing what was beyond the other side of the door as Lucius closed it. What are you all doing now?
Well, we chased off a little worm
You
man
did.
Yeah, it's like
who
You
was
bullied
Are they
my
gone
worm.
now?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I made the decision to go here to the observatory. Eden, what's on your docket right now?
I mean, either one, figuring out a way to like get to the bottom of why and how the parasitic library is, siphoning off from division, because that's a big problem. Um, if we were splitting up to maybe look for more pieces of our friend Shade of What Was, maybe there's something helpful here for that. I have a number of things.
Okay. Yeah. I'm down to look for a piece of the Shade of What Was while we're here. I mean, couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it's all just in general. Like I feel like we're grasping for keys. We're looking for things.
Okay. Y'all rolling for a key?
Yeah.
I'll roll for a key.
I would love for you to roll for a key.
Let's see. Spin and roll. I'll go ahead and use 2 for this. Let's see what happens. Oh no.
Oof.
Well, that's a catastrophic miss.
Well, you could always mark a ruin.
You know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I'll mark her in to get a key.
Okay. Marking a ruin to get a key. Let's see here. Okay. Tell me what you're doing as you're looking for these clues. What are you searching through? What do you think Eden is doing in this moment?
Well, I mean, until I decide to not be the librarian anymore, I am currently the librarian. So I think being in that form, you know, think, okay, if I was the librarian, how would I think and where would I go? Um, and would just kind of embody that like behavior and the mannerisms that she saw the librarian do. So just like kind of aimlessly walk around like flipping through the pages of some book that she picked up to keep on the act to scare off the worm man. um yeah, probably just tapping onto something that she thinks is maybe valuable to what we're trying to do.
Okay. You flip through stacks after stack, and oddly enough, the library's books don't seem to respond much to your touch the way that they responded to Aoife trying to take a memory. As you flip through book after book, sometimes the words are there, sometimes they are blank, sometimes they are swirling about on the page. But finally, you get to one, and you open it up and you find case records of old and gone harbingers left behind in what appears to be a hurry, as all of the pages are slightly askew.
Hmm. Yeah, I would share that with Lucius. Um, hey, well, that's kind of strange. I guess not that strange if they're trying to take information from Division, but
Are these entries handwritten, or are they like were they printed wrong?
Um, they look similar to the case files that you would get at Division. They look typed,
Hmm.
but they are in book form, or what was attempted to be book form.
I think, yeah, like looking at this, I think Lucius would point out, I don't think this was left in the same way that the others were. This might have been placed here for someone believing this to be safekeeping.
possibly. But what did they want with harbingers that aren't around anymore, haven't been for a while?
Looking through these, would Lucius recognize any of these names?
Hmm.
Or are these like
I'm going.
old?
I'm going to say that these are old.
Got it.
These are long forgotten harbingers. If you'd like to grasp for more keys, you could roll Lucius.
Yeah. Yuck.
Do it.
Yeah. I
Do
mean,
it.
why not? What better time? Show me potato salad. I will also mark a ruin.
Yeah.
Did you get a failure?
I got a 7. Yeah, it was
Woof.
one off.
Okay. As you flip through this book, you see these fragments of reports and documents. And then you come across one very similar to a file you have on Eden back at your home. But the box where their name would be, the name is cut out. You could stick your finger through the page there.
But reading it, it's the same. Like the documentation is the same.
Mm-hmm. It's the same. The redacted bits are the same. But the name has been cut away.
Taking this, he will hand it to Eden. He won't say anything when he hands it to them.
Well, what is? Like, she'll just take it then. If you're not
I
saying
didn't know
anything.
if something was
And
going to
just-
happen if you touched this record that was of you. I didn't know, like,
You
I just
know
wanted
what?
to make sure.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And I think, like, once you take it and, like, it doesn't, like, turn into gold dust and absorb back into your body or some, like, Time Lord looking bullshit happens, I think he'll say, or I think he would then pose the question, does this story sound familiar to you?
I mean, does it? Like, does any of this information on the file look familiar to me?
I mean, it's your story. Like,
Is
this
it
is...
like, is it actually me, or is it just someone that is identical, like same that's happening with Eve
Did
and Aoife?
Eden didn't find out about the file in the first mission, right? You kept that to yourself,
Yeah.
Lucius?
No,
yeah.
y'all kept
Yeah.
secrets.
Ah.
As you read through it, some things sound familiar, but it could just be you've heard a lot of division jargon. Everything seems to sound the same after a while, but whoever this is about, you don't have any concrete memory of.
I mean, this is gonna sound strange. It looks like me, but there's not anything that sticks out as, yeah, that's definitely me.
Okay. Understood. Curious. And he'll just sort of like put it into his coat pocket, like he's gonna hold on to this.
Okay. And from there, let's switch over to Din and Larry and the shade of what was.
I believe we're going towards the section in the library on names.
You were. What are you looking for?
I think Din is looking for something that they forgot a long time ago, or something that they lost a long time ago in the section on names.
Okay.
And I think also while looking for clues and for bits and bobs that are related to the shade of what was, but I think Din's primary purpose is to try and remember what they were called before they were called Din or Dynast.
Okay. You go through and as you are looking through the books and papers, things that are stacked up neatly, sometimes haphazardly, other times in the library's own filing system, you come across several tomes. Roll me to search for a key.
Sure thing. All right, I'm going to spend a single darkness token.
Okay.
Roll. And I'm going to also mark ruin.
All right. Not doing too hot on these key rolls. Let's get that ruin going. All right. You flip through these books and walk through the stacks. You find a few more pieces of paper here and there with the same strange blue glow as the shade of what was, and pick them up, setting them up where the shade can get to them and they absorb into the body a little more. And as you do this, You look up past the stacks. And you don't see a book, you see a painting. You see a painting of an angel, not pale and ghostly, colorful and vibrant, glowing, standing on a battlefield fighting other angelic beings in the kingdom of heaven, standing over an angel with a spear and sword in hand. Words you yourself used to describe Din when they still knew their name. And hanging from that, you spy a division badge.
I'll reach and I'll grab it.
You pull the badge down. It's an ID badge, not too dissimilar to the ones that you and the rest of your party have. This one has top secret clearance. What's the name written on it?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Muriel.
Muriel. As you stand there with Larry sitting next to you, their tail thumping happily against the floor of the library, the rustle of the shade of what was on your other side, gently swaying in a unforeseen breeze, you read over this ID badge. It's almost entrancing as it begins to glow with a divine radiance. And you watch as the letters of the name spring out of that ID badge, wrapping themselves around your fingers and up your arm, absorbing into your skin. You remember your name, Muriel.
Muriel. Muriel. Keeper of the Dynast. I'll tuck the badge into my pocket. Little friend.
Yes.
I think I've also found a few more pages for you.
Oh, we would like them.
I'll sort of pass over the little glowing pages that I see.
Mm-hmm. And you do, and they almost float into the body of the shade of what was, and they shake a little bit in the way that a cat would. Ah, we remember those. We are happy they've come back to us.
Any more we find along the way, I'll make sure to reappropriate them.
Thank you. And we'll say around this time. Go ahead.
I just said, of course. Of course.
Okay. And around this time, you hear that conversation between Joe and Marcus Finch at the front door base camp. Where are you heading next?
I think the plan was to look around, try and find more hints. if I remember correctly, there's the observatory was one of the areas.
Mhm.
I sort of looked down to the shade of what was. Is there anywhere else you'd recommend us looking?
There are many places we can go. We know the lecture hall is that way, and it cranes its head to the left. Or
And-
you can go deeper into the stacks. The heart is that way.
The heart?
Yes, the library's heart.
What's at the heart? Other than, obviously, the heart.
Everything that is, everything that comes and goes. Everything that will be a part of it. Has been.
Okay. Let's. I'm going to go on over the radio. The shade of what was is letting me know that there's a spot called the Heart. I'm going to head in that direction.
Does anyone respond? You all hear this?
Should we get the map first? I think there was just. Joe, did you find someone with a map? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, I found somebody with the map. I'm taking them to the exit. So if you want to, I don't know, reconvene, is that the word? Tactical people say if you want to regroup, get your ass over here because I'm not looking for any of you.
Yeah, if you come here, Marcus has snacks for us as well and water. Also, the person's name is Jen. She's quite nice. You all hear Aoife over the radio.
I mean, I don't know if they're nice, but okay. You heard Eva. That's where we'll be.
Okay, reconvening in snacks, quite frankly, sound really good.
All right.
Well, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm heading over there. I'm
Okay.
going as fast as I can.
Well, it might be wise to not try and travel alone. So I'll reconvene with the rest of you, and then the shade of what was can show us the way to the heart.
If Din didn't want to wait for snacks, Lucius would go with you. As an offer.
Okay. I think Din also just recently experiencing what hunger is might be at that point where he needs a top up. So I might go for a snack, some appy
Feels
slices.
like I don't make as good of
Appy slices.
decisions when I haven't eaten in a while. What is this?
We know you are not you when you are hungry. The shade of what was says. All right. So you all head back to base camp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Finch is there taking readings, making some notes on a notepad. There are those little individual bags of pretzels, should you want some. There's someone's dropped off an assortment of sandwiches for you all. There's a nice little lunch, actually. It's more than just a snack for anyone who wants one.
Yeah.
Like I just go up to them. Whiskey, neat.
I'm sorry, what?
Whiskey, neat. Go.
You are aware that you're on the job and you're in HQ.
That hasn't stopped them before.
Wow. First off, snitch much. Second off,
Look, there's sodas and juice and water in the cooler, sandwiches, chips, pretzels, take your pick, then get back to work. What? It's not a bar. And they go back to taking more notes and monitoring the library.
Lucius will go over if there's like a Coke or a Pepsi or like some sort of like cola, takes out a little flask, opens it, pours in some rum, closes the flask, and then just like, I imagine it's like the pie on the windowsill for Joe, where like Lucius sort of like swirls it around and like he has your booze ready for you. He knows you work better like when the edge is off a little bit. Like you're more reasonable and easy to deal with if we just get him a little drunk before missions.
I'm not me when I'm sober.
Woof.
Jesus.
All right. You can definitely sneak your booze while Marcus's back is turned. Are the rest of you doing anything? Is there any conversation you want to have here before you head back in?
Oh, everybody. This is Jen. Jen can't remember shit.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a map if anyone would like it. You seem really familiar, and she looks at you, Eden. Anyways, here's the map of the library. I've labeled as much as I can, and it's accurate.
Is the heart on
accurate.
here?
The heart? Yes. We are currently, and Jen points out to where you are currently located. And the heart is this way, I think. Yes, this way. And they point to the opposite side of the map from you. It's near a space of the map where they haven't started documenting the library yet. There's a large space that is unlabeled.
Might I take this? Sorry, Eden.
Oh, no
Yeah.
worries.
That's fine.
I feel like if anybody should have it, I found Jen. It's the thing.
Oh,
So
I'm
like, I
just corroborating with the shade of what was.
I'll need to introduce you to the dip system later.
We would like to help. The shade of what was speaks up.
With the map. Does this look correct to you?
Yes. We think it's accurate.
I mean, we've got two sources that are corroborating the information. That is a good thing. It's better to trust but verify, especially any information that we receive in a situation like this.
God, these sandwiches are bullshit.
If there are, if anyone else has met another person, Eden and I met an old acquaintance, I guess would be the right word. They are the rotting worm. It is a mass of worms that is currently feeding off of the library itself. Sorry, hungry worm, not rotting worm. Yeah, it's rotting enough. Stupid little man. They are feeding off of the library as it is, a parasite for a parasite. Just something to be mindful of in case we run into them again. Although they do seem to be rather scared of the librarian, so I'm pretty sure they are not supposed to be here.
There's a large worm. Eva speaks up.
The best way to describe it is not one large worm, but maybe 500 to 800 individual worms that have decided worms together strong. And have become a much larger worm who wears clothes.
Okay.
So,
Any idea of what kind of worm it is?
a black
Yes.
cosmic space worm.
Oh. Okay. We could try a pesticide.
Honestly, yeah, that very, very well might work. Though I'm not sure, to be honest.
Right.
Kill the worm and then we go home then? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, we don't know if the worm itself is the Harbinger.
Yeah, there might be more to it than that. We haven't seen everything yet, so who knows?
Also, if it is capable of keeping a body of this size, and he like makes like a height motion of how tall the hungry worm was, it could be that it was a smaller part of a larger whole.
Mm.
It's kind of terrifying to think about.
Joe, do you want the map back?
Oh yes. Actually, no. I just realized it'd be extra work to carry it around.
Oh. So it was one of those things where you just wanted to say that you wanted it and then didn't actually want it.
I changed my mind. I do that sometime. I'm effervescent that way.
Hmm.
Ethereal, mysterious. So let's go kill a worm then.
As many as we can find.
That's just I'm ready to get out of here. This place is giving me the heebie-jeebies, and I don't like anybody mucking with my head, except the captain.
Morgan.
Okay.
Captain Morgan.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So we're going to the heart while looking for the worm, or we're looking for the worm and then going to the heart?
My thought is that if there is a point
You're
of
muted, Dan.
corruption, if there is a spot where the house is in pain, if we go to where the heart is, if it is not, I don't want to say standard vascular system, but if it shares a vascular like property with other things, there would be an influence of this infection coming from one pathway of this out of this heart or in more so than others. If that is the case, we could follow that to wherever the true ailment is and then take care of it from there. Otherwise, if the hungry worm thinks that this library is in a weakened state, they might try and go for the heart as is.
Okay. Okay. I'm fighting worms in a library that has a heart. Okay.
Surprisingly, not the weirdest thing that we've had to do in the last set of months. I swam around in a graveyard of giant monsters, but that was for research. He just walks in the direction of the heart.
I want to hear that story later, but I want to be drunk when I hear it. Okay.
Now we're talking.
Let's go.
Gee, I would like to try a thing, but it depends on an answer you have to a question, which is
Okay.
Is hunger an emotion?
Hunger and an emotion? No, hunger is not an emotion.
Okay, I didn't.
It's a state of being.
Yes.
Very well then. Never mind.
Okay. What were you gonna try and do?
I was gonna use my emotion amplification to see if I could sense where hunger is in this area.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nope.
No such luck. That's okay.
Sorry, buddy.
You miss all the shots you don't take.
Yeah. All right. So you all begin heading through the Parasitic library. Who's leading the way?
I'll do it unless Din wanted to take charge with the map.
I can, at the very least, be at your side
Sure.
if we want to help navigate this together.
Can do.
Okay. You begin walking through the stacks, and you're making your way through the library. At one point, you walk past some stacks, and you see the you see the formless amnesis between in a conversation with the librarian. And as you all pass the aisle in which they are speaking in, both of their heads turn towards you all and watch silently as you pass by. You hear their conversation resuming when you are a few aisles further over.
You see, now that is disconcerting.
Talk about people behind their backs. I would never do such a thing.
Never.
And gives Joe a look.
What? I wouldn't. I mean, only against like Marcus, but that doesn't count.
They were just having a private conversation?
I feel like they were having a private conversation at us, though.
I mean, or they were just waiting to resume it when they had privacy again?
Why? When they got to high?
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you have to hide?
Oh, nothing. I'm an open book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, you could ask me anything. I don't give a shit enough to lie or use deception.
Mm-hmm. Is that why you tried to pretend that the crown and the sword were a Halloween prop when you were in my office?
That was more to protect you and your sanity, but
Mm-hmm.
you seem tough. You can take it.
Has he always been such a horrible liar? Okay. Good to know.
Just a collective nod.
Just glaring at Lucius like, you fucking traitor.
Takes one to
Honestly-
know one.
Honestly, I'm just still flabbergasted that he's not friends with a bunch of LARPers and cosplayers. I thought that's what he was coming in to tell me at first.
With that,
Larpers.
and that is what would have turned you off? Not.
Oh no, I would have invited him to my guild.
Oh.
I mean,
He just turns.
Oh.
I never said that I didn't learn what guild you in.
Joe is the founding member of the True Knights of Camelot. To relive the glory
incredible.
days.
That's a power play right there.
I get to play Arthur. It's awesome.
Jesus.
Oh, you do that one? Okay. I do one
Less.
based on Game of Thrones. It's now my watch begins. You become a member of the Night's Watch.
I started to question your taste
What? It's fun.
into the last 2 seasons.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they take out all the misogyny and stuff, and it's actually a fairly fun LARP experience. Anyways, okay.
Have we found the goddamn worm yet? I'm ready to do some stabbing.
As you all walk through the stacks, you feel a rumbling beneath your feet
Oh no.
as sections of shelves begin to drag themselves into new positions. They create new passages and obscure old pathways, new patterns for new purposes as the library begins to digest its meals. And one of you becomes separated from the rest of the party. Someone roll me 1d4. Joe is 1, Eden is 2, Din is 3, Lucius is 4. We got a 4?
I got a 4. I beat Noir to the punch this time.
I wasn't very happy about that, but yeah, you got me.
I'll see
All right.
myself out.
As the clock ticks forward 1, who becomes separated from the rest of the group?
Well, a 4 is Lucius.
Or somebody
Yeah,
else
you got
getting separated?
Lucius. You gotta tell me who gets.
Oh, I have
Oh.
to tell.
Yeah, you're
Choose.
choosing. You got 5 people to choose from. You have your party members. You have Aoife, and you have the shade of what was with you right now. Who gets separated?
I'll still be selfish. Lucius is the one who gets separated from the
You
rest.
Okay.
son of a bitch.
Damn it.
Decide your fate.
All right. Someone roll me 1d4. We're gonna omit 4 this time.
Damn it. Damn it.
Just
Dude,
give me 4s, huh?
I got 2.
2. Okay. 2 is Eden. Eden, what new danger is now freed in the library?
Ooh. I don't know why the first thing I thought of was like some type of statue that you would see in the library, like a metal kind of statue that is like, we'll say of a lion. Like think a very like Night at the Museum-esque type metal lion statue that is come to life and is rampant through the library.
You hear a loud metallic thud, all of you, as claws drag across the floor. And I will poorly fill in your little chart here. There you go. And you hear the thunk, 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 thunk of heavy metal feet. And you see the body of a lion, nearly as tall as you are, Eden, at the shoulder, pass by the end of the stacks, down the aisleway. Lucius, you hear this creature in the distance. You hear that same metallic thud and scrape, but it sounds like it's heading in your direction. What do y'all do?
I'm summoning Excalibur immediately.
Okay.
And I would like to unleash the dark and attack this thing if I might.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna put in 2 darkness tokens and yeet. Nope, that's the wrong button. Yeet. Uh, the perfect hit with Excalibur every time.
Oh, the legendary sword. Okay. What's your flashback?
The flashback. I think the flashback we get is it's the moment where Joe goes to Arthur and he says, I have to leave. I think that I might be in love with your wife. And that it's Arthur giving him another way out. And it's the first time that they're all a throuple. Like it's just a happy moment of understanding. And then the flashback is them all training together. Kind of free of that burden of like not saying things like it, there's a certain freedom that comes when you say the secret and the secret's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, and it's just that training montage, and it's the same slash cadence that he's practicing that he's doing now to the lion. um and I will pick my 2,
Okay.
which will bring I would like to gain the upper hand for now.
Okay.
And I would like to expose a weakness or a flaw.
Okay. We're gonna say you do gain the upper hand. You are able to take a running leap and get onto the back of this metallic lion statue. And as you do, you can see that almost like with a carousel animal, there's a hole that a pole would go straight through the center of this living statue. And you think that may be a weak point.
Hey, Angel. I think you might and he's just gonna point he's gonna point to the area. I think you've got a target to hit. And that'll be Joe.
Okay. Did anyone else want to do anything?
So Lucius has been separated. He
Yeah.
has this giant metal monster coming towards him. He hears the
Yep.
sound of combat. He is going to turn off his walkie-talkie. And he is going to run or start like going in a almost like serpentine like fashion into the direction where he believes the heart to be. Or actually, he won't go to the direction of the heart. He wants to try and track down the librarian.
Okay. You can go ahead and try and do that. You head off running through the stacks, and how are you trying to find them? Are you just looking? Are you calling out for them?
So I'm not calling out for them, and the reason why I turned off the walkie is because if this creature is coming after me, I don't want to have my walkie on for somebody like Joe to just start shouting like, "Where are you at? We're coming to find you!" and like give away my position. Like I would rather be somewhere safe and then turn it back on and let folks know, hey, I'm not in danger. So I think at this point he is just trying to navigate through he's trying to navigate through this library to the best of his ability. However, let me just check on something real quick here. Yeah, I think he's just going to try and track them down using his understanding.
Okay. You go running through the stacks and make me just a general 2d6 roll.
Okay.
Tell me what it is. Let's see how long it takes.
3.
3.
Bad.
It takes you what feels like forever. But finally, you look up and you see the librarian and the formless amnesis up on the walkway above you, up on that balcony. I believe it's the mezzanine area, heading into the stacks up there. They're getting ready to turn away from the railing and head into the bookshelves there.
And Lucius will call out for them to wait. And he just, I have a word to speak, please. As he is like out of breath, like having run through these stacks, to the librarian.
You call up to them, and as you do, they turn and they almost absorb into the floor and come back up directly in front of you. You nearly crash into them. This time they're wearing the face of a older woman with gray hair pulled back in a bun in a white blouse and plaid skirt.
And he'll like pull out a little handkerchief of just Joe's to like wipe his forehead and then tuck back in. And he says, "Dearest librarian, I know of the creature that is currently lurking within your halls. It does not wish to be found, and even invoking your name seems to have scared it quite handedly. If I remove this creature for you, will you give something to me?
The librarian looks down, almost as if they are running calculations in their head. Your assistance would be most welcome. If something is within my power to give, I think that would be amenable.
One of the stories that is on your shelf.
Which one?
And he says, I do not wish to speak out of turn, so let me take care of this creature, and I will come up with options.
They nod their head at you.
Now, in order to do so, I have a secondary request. This library has separated me from my friends. Can you return me to at least close to them?
They look off into the distance, almost as if looking through the stacks. Again, you see that face of contemplation as they listen for something you can't hear. Yes, this way. And they begin walking through the stacks as shelves part for them. From there, let's go back over to the rest of the group. Eden and Din, what are you doing?
I feel like Eden at this point would be trying to like keep the Shade of What Was and Aoife away from this thing.
Okay.
So I feel like whatever she's doing is like kind of a protective measure, whether that is like I'm not sure if I'm trying to think of like if there's a move that would be appropriate for that. I'm not sure if
If
Unleashing the
there's not
Dark
a
is
if there's not a move, you can describe something and just roll and unleash the dark.
okay. Because like I'm not sure how appropriate it would be, but yeah, kind of. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what natural elements Eden would be able to even like reach out to here. I don't think there's many.
You are in a
God,
library and books are made from trees.
yeah, I was thinking the shells like being made of wood like would try to kind of like morph those in a way that kind of shields um the three of them from this giant lion statue.
Okay. Go ahead and roll unleash the dark.
Okay.
Let's see how well you bend these shelves to your will.
All right, come on, work with me, roll 20. Why won't you let me open this move? I do not understand.
Because it's roll 20 and it's cranky.
It's yeah. Okay, let me just like reopen my sheet. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know why that would do anything, but you know, who knows at this point. Okay, there we go. Yeah, for some reason it was doing a whole thing. I'll use one darkness token on this. Are you kidding me? No. Why are the dice so mean tonight?
Oh,
That's a
on a 5, that
miss.
is a miss.
Do
You
you
have
have a
greatly.
bond?
Would a bond be able to add enough to like make that a hit though?
Do
That's
you,
a 5.
Need at
do you,
least 3.
do you have a
Yeah.
bond with Joe?
Oh.
I should. Hold on. Let me look at my bonds. I was like, listen, I almost never use my bonds, and I don't know why. Yeah, I actually have 2 bonds with Joe.
Okay.
Uh, Let me just read it again because it's been a minute. When someone spends a bond with you to modify a roll, they choose the bond grants +3 or -3, or you gain a new bond with them afterwards. So you could get +3,
Which would make that a perfect hit. Yeah, I'll spend it.
Mm-hmm. All right. On a perfect hit, What from that list are you wanting to do? I'm assuming you want to get what you want from the stacks.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that would work.
Okay. And you are able to reach out to the trees that partially created these structures. It's almost as if you are reaching out to something that is too familiar. You pull these stacks closer, you pull the papers closer, and you feel back to the history of the trees that made these shelves and this paper, and something about it as you build this half-dome fortress between you, the Shade of What Was, and Aoife, and the statue that Joe and Din are fighting. There's something on the edge of your memory. It feels so familiar and so comfortable, but you can't tell quite why. Din, what are you doing?
I think Dan is going to reach into the chest and pull out the flaming sword.
Mhm.
And I'd like to unleash the dark.
Okay. Please do.
I'm going to spend 2 darkness tokens
Okay.
and roll. Oop. That is a 5.
Got a bond with Joe?
Let me check. I do not. I have no bonds with anybody.
Ugh. All right. What were you trying to do?
I was going to swing with the sword.
Okay. You go to swing with the sword, and as you do, this lion statue, unnaturally quick, whips its head around, grabbing your flaming sword in its metallic jaws, and lifts you up into the air with it. You are now dangling from the mouth of this creature, this living statue. And it is now its turn. As this living statue has come to life, it has decided that it needs to defend itself against something that is not of the natural world it knew. And it begins to swap forms. It becomes a colossus in the shape of a man, and still holding you aloft, its mouth changes into a hand as the body reorients itself, holding you up high above the stacks. And you see Lucius off in the distance with the librarian running towards you. And it brings its fist down. I am going to need you to take the condition. Gosh, where are conditions on these sheets?
I have cornered, distant, merciless, and despairing to choose from.
I'm going to need you to take the condition cornered as you become pinned underneath its fist.
Sounds good.
Your flaming sword beginning to melt the metal. Now, for the party. The monster is just gone. Din is now pinned under its fist, metal beginning to melt around the flaming sword. What do y'all do next?
Hell, Angel.
Joe, you're now standing on this thing's shoulders.
Angel, how come you couldn't slack off like this when you were getting me, huh? And I'm just going to go and attack again.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna try that. I'm gonna do another 2 tokens because I need to just a reminder. I have an ability called sometimes I get angry. When you unleash the dark through anger and violence, take 3 darkness tokens before doing so. So I'm spending another 2 uh, to unleash that dark. Yeet! Disastrous success. uh,
Okay.
your control falters and you go too far. Choose one, but the keeper describes an unintended consequence. I am going to choose um to get what I want from them, and what I want is Dynas out. So I think the crown is like erupting from the forehead. The arm is going full silver, like almost welding Excalibur to his hands, and he's just gonna cut off whatever part is locking Dynas down.
Okay. You lock this creature has him locked down in its fist, essentially forming a cage around Din. And as you come down on the arm, you sever it from the rest of the body, throwing its balance off. And as this living statue begins to right itself, trying to find its equilibrium again, it falters and it falls backwards into Eden, the shade of what was, and Aoife. You hear the crack and groan of wood against metal as it falls. Eden, Aoife, and the shade of what was are completely out of sight if they are not underneath it.
I am going to give uh oh
I have
no.
something if you don't have anything.
No, it's I only have one. I have all 3 conditions going right now except for one, and I was gonna give myself one. So that's I don't what happens when I have all my conditions filled. I have raging,
That's called a
love
breaking
lord.
point.
I have raging, love lord, obsessed, and despairing all locked down. Oh, breaking point? Let's see. Is that oh let's see. What does that do? I'm sorry, give me a second. I just have to find oh. Okay. Um, breaking point. You know that this world is not your own and you will never belong here. The dream that is humanity can never belong to you. The darkness grips your heart, and the world you were summoned from bleeds into this one. You are a beacon to what has been aching to reach to this world. Describe the tears unleashed and how an aspect of your terrible prophecy comes to pass. The keeper will tell you how the world is now wounded, warped by what you allowed to come through. Um,
Okay.
I think I think in this moment there's a few things at play. One, um, he chose to help an angel of God, and
Mm-hmm.
it just cost him something that he cared about. It's him doing the right thing again and then paying for it.
Okay.
And right now he doesn't remember that he was supposed to do the right thing. So he's kind of, I think, there's just a little bit of hell on earth right now. I think for the first time he's completely silver, like just a humanoid shape in melted silver, with just black eyes. Um, and I just don't think there's any humanity in there right now. I think we're seeing the Harbinger for the first time. And
Okay.
no yelling, just very quiet. Now he has to kill.
Okay. Eden,
Hey.
Lucius, Din. Who's
How's-
next?
Yeah. How's it going under here?
Eden, you have been cut off from the rest of your party. There is rubble and books and debris and metal all around you. You are enclosed in what remains of your structure with this metal body precariously looming over you and your two companions.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
What's that?
Yeah.
I was just saying that I have a ruin move
Ooh. I want to
called
see the ruin move. Yeah. Go for it.
Tragedy will not claim another. You've grown attached to your fellow monsters and care deeply about their fates. When a PC or an NPC is in peril, mark ruin to suddenly appear at the scene, ignoring the usual limits of time, distance, and plausibility. In addition, gain 1 bond with them. If you wish to appear in a superior position or bearing a golden opportunity, mark ruin a second time. So I would like to mark 2 ruin
Okay.
to almost teleport inside this spot where they're trapped under,
Okay.
and then I think unleash a pair of golden wings to just break out.
Okay. And is that a
I don't need to
one that
roll,
we
I
have to
just
roll
need to
for?
spend ruin.
All right, spend that ruin.
So I take 2 points of ruin.
Okay. As you do this, I'm going to say it happens simultaneously to what Joe is going through as the result of hell on earth seeping into the parasitic library begins to happen. Things begin to light on fire around you all. And Eden, you see this figure lurching back, encompassing you and your companions. And within moments, there is Din blinking into existence between you all, wings outstretched, pushing everything away from you, keeping you, the shade of what was, and Aoife safe. Lucius, you and the librarian are rushing towards the sound of metal and wood and burning, and you smell sulfur. And the librarian says, "This will not do. They're making a mess of things," and puts a hand on your shoulder. And you feel a sucking sensation as you and the librarian are sucked down into the floor and pushed through slime and viscera, popping back up through a portal that you didn't know existed in the carpet. And they deposit you right in front of the scene where your friends are battling. What would you like to do?
So I see Joe full Harbinger mode.
Mm-hmm.
I see Din with like big golden wings protecting Aoife and Eden. Yes, this is what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Lucius takes a deep breath because he knows that this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker. And he tightens up his tie a little bit, and he confidently walks towards Joe and reaches into his breast pouch. And he pulls out a sack. And he throws it at Joe so it lands directly at his feet. And out of this sack spill 30 silver coins, which Lucius had picked up a la the first mystery. And he says, if you're going to do anything to kill your friends and the ones closest to you, and he puts his arms out in a T-like pose, then let me be the first to fall. And I would like to use the story of you carved into my flesh to help provoke you to attack me.
Hands check.
I am asking. This
Okay,
is how my move will trigger, good sir.
Okay.
Beautiful use of safety and communication. I love it.
I think just looks down at the 30 pieces of silver and they melt and get absorbed into the foot. And there's no mouth, but you just hear, very well. And I would like to This is so this is so fucked up. I would like to use borrowed power. Um, I can't believe it. Uh, Along the walls of the world, beings of twisted power await your bidding. This is my summoning move. So he's literally trying, just reaching into nothing and tearing open a hole in hell to let out. Uh, this time not Raphael, but like an actual just fire and brimstone demon. So
Mhm.
I do have to roll for this move.
Okay.
Uh, eh, what am I rolling for this? Uh, this is a Unleash the Dark move again. Okay. Yes! A disastrous success. So let me tell you what happens on a disastrous success on this move. Oh boy. Um, you barely have this creature under control. It will do as you command, but the wards will shatter soon after. Choose one of the following. Uh, oh, I get to choose one from above, but you have to exert your will and banish the creature before it can wreak havoc and mark one condition or one ruin, or choose from one of the options below, but the creature will escape the world and be forever free of your control. Um, I am going to have the summoned creature be Fire and Rage, Violence and Storm. They will destroy a vulnerable target before the summoning unravels. Uh, and I will mark one ruin and another. I don't. Does I
Your
like? Oh
track
my.
doesn't clear.
Yeah. So I don't. I can't mark another condition.
Mhm.
So I'll
I
instead.
think I think doesn't Torn Between clear it? Or
Breaking
is that
Point does
based on
not. No.
Breaking Point? No.
Instead, what I have to do is gain one bond with what the darkness demands of me. And so there is just this mass of fire and muscle and stone that comes out. And it is gonna, I guess, I mean, it's gonna do what it
So
do.
to mechanically speaking,
Hmm.
I need
Mhm.
you as Joe to attack me, not the
Oh,
creature. It's fine if
oh,
you
okay.
want to
I'm
have.
so
Yeah,
sorry.
no worries. I didn't fully explain that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, then, yeah, I'll have him swing with Excalibur instead. So
Okay.
never mind that, if that's okay with you, GM.
Go for it.
All right,
So
so here's the swing with Excalibur.
so I imagine Excalibur sinks into Lucius, and Lucius just walks forward, and as he does, like his skin is like where this blade is in him, it is like black and necrosis sort of like spreading out, and parts of his flesh are just sort of like sloughing off as there is just this like meated man underneath that looks hollow. Like his skin's not there, so you just see that like muscle-esque tissue. And he is going to show you the most vulnerable, egoless creature that lies underneath at the core of Lucius. And I need to ask the player character if this creature under my skin entices or horrifies or both.
I think in the state that he's in, it entices. I don't know
Excellent.
what that means, but that's
In doing
that's.
so,
Mm-hmm.
I will create a new hunger condition to reflect how I have made you feel. You clear all conditions.
Oh, you son of a gun!
In order to do this, I need to mark 2 ruin and I get a condition, but you are completely cured.
Um, I think we just see the metal melt to the ground, and it's just Joe's hand on the hilt while the sword is still in your chest.
Okay. So just to clarify for me, because a
Mm-hmm.
lot has happened in those little
Yeah.
moments. So did the Hellfire creature come through or not?
No.
No, that
No,
was
okay, okay.
Retcon.
Roger.
'Cause I had to attack. I didn't know that. That was
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad.
Roger, Roger. I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
All right.
And on that, you all hear the statue begin to move. And then you hear the fluttering of paper and the slight chiming of bells. Din, from under one of your wings, the shade of what was leaps up and spreads itself out across this mass of metal, trying to twist itself into a new form. And there is a blue glow that settles over it, slowly becoming white hot as you all watch, as the shade of once was absorbs this creature. And as it settles into a new form, you hear a feline purring, deep and rumbling, coming from it. We can be of use now. As the papers that were swirling around it are now etched tin plates swirling around the same blue glow. And that is where we can go to break, because we're a little bit over.
Big kitty.
Yes! We
Woo!
did it! We are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you all shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon!
Bye-bye!
And hello, everybody. We have returned. We are back. Great things are sure to be happening in this beautiful, not spooky library. Sarah, take us away.
You are in the aftermath of your battle with this creature. There is still some molten metal on the floor from where Din's sword was melting. The companion that has been traveling with you, the shade of what was, now stands about half the size the statue was when it was a feline, when it was a lion. It's doubled in size from what has been walking around with you. The blue glow is a bit stronger now, as it has absorbed this walking, living, breathing metal statue to help you all. And the librarian is looking around, and you see them move, walking over to a book that has fallen on the ground, picking it up, leafing through it, putting it up on a shelf as they begin recataloging their library in the aftermath of the destruction. What are y'all gonna do next?
Everybody all right?
Lucius is like holding the spot where Excalibur sliced him. I gave myself the condition Blight of the Chivalrous.
Okay.
So he is currently suffering the effects of having been hit with the sword of pure good / pure evil. So he's more like trying to like fight off this like weird like silver to werewolf thing that's going on. But other than that, he's fine, I would say.
Aoife comes rushing out from under your wing, up to you, Joe. Oh my gosh, are you okay? Is everything, that thing was huge. You fight things like that are you okay? Are you okay? She sees you holding your side, Lucius.
If you would believe me, this is actually the least amount of damage I've taken on one of these missions. At one point, my leg grew to a size it wasn't used to and was bending backwards like a horse. Little hard to walk down hallways, This is fine.
Okay. She turns back to you, Joe.
I'm glad that you are okay. I'm sorry, Lucius. Thank you.
And Lucius nods. And I think that there is, to Joe, there is a familiar nod. Like, it's not like a normal Lucius, like very curt, but it is one of those like almost Knight of the Round Table-esque, like, like,
This is
got
what we
this.
do.
Yeah, like this is what we do, no questions asked. And he says, don't thank me just yet. We're not out of the thick of it. But if we can try and minimize damage to the library as we do, I think that the proprietor might be a little bit more generous in the reward at the end of this quest.
I think Joe kind of comes out of the daze to, like, when you mention the damage done, to just kind of look around and see the havoc that was really, like, I think he's just now actually taking it in as to what he did. He goes, oh, sorry about that. I just heard the door is all. Someone should tell me where to go. Please.
This way to the heart.
And, like, there's no ego, there's no swag. It's just a very confused and, like, fucked up guy right now.
As you begin following Din and Larry towards the heart, Joe, you feel a hand slip into yours and squeeze. Aoife's locked in step right next to you.
I wanted to open the door. I think I still want to open the door. I saw you gone. And I can't lose another one. I thought I might be able to. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to.
Well, did you actually see me gone, or did you just perceive that? Because, see, there's this thing. Animals do it a lot, and sometimes people who have been through a lot of shit do it too, where when something's not directly in your line of sight, you have trouble believing that it's actually there. But Eden had me, and that cat thing. And Larry, I'm still confused why you all have a golden retriever following you around. And Din was there to help too. Maybe trust in the people around you a little more before you assume the worst.
The worst isn't an assumption. It is a certainty. Every time I feel like this about someone, it's only a matter of time. I think I loved him, and then I watched what they did, what they'll do to you. You should let go now.
Do you know what my favorite thing is about the Bible? Aside from the really weird imagery, further than you go, but it's that people were given free will. And the thing about free will is that it's the individual's decision. I'm sorry you went through so much for so long alone. And you feel another tight squeeze of your hand. But I'm not going to let you face it alone anymore. And for a human, I have it on good authority that I'm pretty difficult to get rid of, so. Trust in that at least.
I suppose. There's like, there's no fight, and like, I think he just squeezes back with as much strength as he has, and like, he's a super, like, his one of his powers is super strength, but he is done right now. Like, and so he's just gonna lag behind and follow along. But yeah, I think he's gassed.
And she'll continue walking with you in step, holding your hand. You feel her other hand come up, wrapping that hand around your upper arm as well as she leans into you, offering more support quietly.
One thing of note though, uh, Excalibur is on the ground. Like, he just kind of dropped it.
It's tucked into her belt, next to her rapier. It's waiting
Hot. Sorry.
What's hotter than one woman with a sword? A woman with two swords.
Hell yeah.
So what's the future, Bay?
The internet cannot cope. Someone start on the fan art now. Write your fanfics.
And then link me for no additional reason.
And then just,
for no reason whatsoever.
Get us. Just,
The baddie of Camelot.
I'm just trying to appreciate the arts.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just supporters.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me that you decided that she needed to be in bikini armor. That's totally cool.
Hey, artistic freedom, you know?
It's enchanted.
It is. She's essentially indestructible the more skin she shows.
Oh my god.
So we're playing by
I do
Red
think-
Sonja rules. I got you.
I do
is
think
there-
that that on the way over to the heart, Eden probably would have sidle up with Joe at some point and say, "Hey, I'm glad that you're still around, okay? Who else will have taught me how to do that?" And she'll point to, I'm guessing it's probably Lucius. Probably Lucius is, if we're facing his back,
Oh yeah,
Eden
Lucius's
has
chest
stuck
is a
like,
little bit, out.
Yeah.
He's very like.
oh well, Eden has stuck some type of like sign like right in the middle of his back. Probably like, I don't know if it, like, I feel like a kick me sign is too on the nose. Just something.
It's a
Ask
dick,
me
isn't
about
it?
my hunger.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yes, that.
I love it.
That
Yeah.
gets a full on chuckle and like one silver tear. Like,
Oh.
Lucius, Din, you hear a chuckle from Joe coming behind the two of you.
I think Lucius probably like looks over with his good eye and just sees Joe in good spirits, and I think that he is just going to turn forward and carry on, knowing that his companions have been bolstered by each other.
Wonderful. So, you all travel to the heart. The Shade of Once Was leads you through the stacks, even though they rearranged themselves as the library began digesting its meal. As you walk into the heart, it's a cramped room filled with an Etcher-esque array of pipes spreading out from the massive boiler furnace. The ferment, words are hard. The furnace thrums and beats as it glows with the flames within. Someone roll me 1d4. Joe's 1, Eden is 2, Din is 3, Lucius is 4.
Joe.
2?
Or 2? 2.
Okay. 2, Eden.
Oh no, I get to participate.
Embedded in the whistle of steam and thrum of the boiler, what message do you hear from the feeding, slumbering library?
I think something along the lines of, I consume all and resistance is futile. No one has escaped and neither will you.
You hear this, Eden, in your mind. The words are a threat, but there's also the air of welcoming to them. As you all move through the room and you begin looking around. On the other side of the boiler, situated in a corner, embedded in the pipes, is a tree. Branches spreading wide, wrapping themselves, the trunk growing into the larger ones. Nature has a way of reclaiming space when it has found its way in. And from the top of the trunk of this apple tree, you see Eden.
I look at her and she looks at me.
And as you all look back and forth at one another, I am going to give you something, Heck.
This is Eden, but like with the evil goatee of the 80s.
It is Eden as Eden looked when Eden was a tree. Was it your first or second mission that happened to Eden?
That was the second. I don't think it was the first.
Okay, perfect. Discord, why do I have so many DMs? Sorry, I typed in
I know,
Eden the first time, and I was like, that's not your Discord
too.
name.
Oh my god.
So, content warning for body horror. Heck, this is where what I messaged you prior to today comes in. As your friends are looking back and forth between you and you, You remember the duality of your memories. Some things are missing, some things are different. And then you remember your purpose. You had to meet someone here. But the jig is up. They found the real Eden. How do you reveal yourselves to them as you are trapped in this room with Eden's party? You can take a moment to look over what I sent you on Discord.
Yeah, it's like, hold on. There's a lot here.
You will just need probably everything above the description for this.
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. So remind me what the question was again. Like,
How do
oh,
you
this is
reveal your true self to the people who thought you were their ally?
Ooh, I think that from this tree, like what, starts is like, apple trees, like, especially when they are in bloom, are incredibly fragrant and alluring and appealing. And I think as, the party has come into this boiler room and is now pretty much trapped, that facade starts to fall away. And this is where that sense of decay, or that scent of decay, started to arise from and hit all the way into the lobby. Um, where any apples or even beginnings of fruit are absolutely just starting to rot away. Um, the bark of the tree itself is becoming less bark like, less plant like, and more chitinous and strangely exoskeleton and crustacean and or just generally arthropod like. uh what is happening? I can't hear what Anita's saying, but oh no.
I think
um
Anita is screaming on mute.
um yeah, as um more of, yeah, that exterior is kind of revealing itself, and from any of kind of those fissures between those plates, are the, if you've seen any of like protrusions from like barnacles and stuff as they kind of go out from between the kind of like skins of themselves, or the outer shell, like you can kind of see those peeking out through.
You know that now, in this moment, you have one goal. Prevent them from getting that real tree back. They can't have part of the key to the apocalypse. You need to hang on to it. So, I have just handed Heck a Harbinger sheet. So, Heck, what you have on your sheet, those conditions, should the party choose to use moves on you that would inflict a condition, once you hit all 3 of those, I'm going to let you decide whether or not they end this Harbinger or you just run away. Harbingers have
Okay.
the option to do either. Your moves that you have there, these are essentially narrative. You're going to step into the same role that I take as the keeper, and I will share with you the keeper handout as well. It's just going to pop up for everyone, but it's the same thing that's in the book. So essentially what you do will be mostly narrative, unless it makes sense to inflict a condition, in which case you can do so. Players. There's potential for PvP in this part of the session.
I'm down.
There's potential that you can also talk this particular Harbinger down. Thumbs up from everybody to continue. Okay, you good to go, Ian? Okay.
Yeah, ready to
All
go.
right.
And I was like, I just have to read it. I was like, okay, great. No, I'm here.
Fantastic. I am going to let you go ahead and assume some of the narrative here. What do you do next?
To
I mean,
us
and-
or the GM?
Yeah, it's
now?
like,
All of
who's
you.
going, oh.
Uh,
All of
I,
you.
I've got a move that might actually be helpful in this situation. I need you to
Mhm.
move, buddy.
No,
No,
father.
no kitties when PvP is involved.
I would like to use my move. Heavy is the crown.
Okay.
It says you may always declare a harbinger knows you and the terrible prophecy that awaits you. Describe what part they will play in your prophecy. When you declare this, mark one ruin. They will immediately offer you something of great value, but will demand you show through action that you are ready to fulfill your prophecy. Or mark two ruin. You force them to acknowledge your power and give way to you for now. They will offer you something of great value as a means of appeasing. Uh, I think I'm just gonna go with the one ruin, which
Okay.
is they will immediately offer you something of great value, but will demand you show through action that you are ready to fulfill your prophecy.
Okay.
So, heck, what are you going to demand through action that that Joe does?
Ooh.
Be vicious, do your worst.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, you're the one that's supposed to close the door on everything. Um,
Yeah, and I think that's kind of how Joe kind of leads into this, which is you were the face of my friend, and I'm tired of thinking that my friends are dead. So, listen, I'm gonna close the damn door anyway. Let's call it even for the day.
Are you gonna take that skin collector?
What in the what in the hell?
Hey,
The
now.
who now?
the who now? Yeah,
That's a proper
the
noun.
what?
I will
Yeah,
share their
I
image
think-
in our Discord.
Oh my gosh, please
Yeah,
do.
it's just gonna be eaten.
It's wild. Yeah. I think that out of all of the horrifying things that are currently going on with this tree, one of the branches will reach down and reveal just a perfectly fine, perfectly ripe red apple. And just kind of move it towards you and say, well, if you are supposed to close the door, recreate the events that closed this one.
Honest, I'm more in the mood for pears right now, but this will have to do. And I'm scared of what this will do, but I'm gonna take a bite out of that apple.
Are you trying to? What are you asking Joe to do? To fulfill the
I
prophecy
thought
that was
part
given
of
to the
just
party
like
previously?
yeah, like the offering something, and he has to show the action.
Okay, let me find where I wrote that down.
Am I gonna die? How did he get over there so quick? You little traitors! Look
Look
how
at
spread
him.
out his little toesies are.
He's sensitive
So-
about those.
Uh-oh.
You all know that part of the prophecy about your party is that the golden snake shall pierce the apple, and the angel will breathe life unto the first of men, and the father of many shall bear witness. Are you piercing that apple with a bite, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. You bite into the apple, and to clarify, Heck, did the apple come from Eden or did it come from the Harbinger?
You know, it would be interesting if I'm not sure if this will like mess with anything that you were thinking.
Don't
But
worry about
Eden
it.
didn't take the one apple from the oldest house.
Mm-hmm.
It could bear a striking resemblance to the
Mm-hmm.
exact one that was in there.
Yeah. They tempt you with this knowledge, Joe, and as you take a bite, you are flooded with conflicting memories. Not just the memories of the Harbinger, but memories of Eden. It is nearly impossible to tell right from wrong, who's who, the true and the false. You see two Edens walking with you through the oldest house. You see one walking with Lucius. You see another walking on their own. You see a merger happen. You see a split. You see two Edens falling through time, lost, as a pyramid cracks through the ceiling above them. There's a knowledge that both of these Edens share memory. They are intertwined.
That was a lot and disconcerting. Have I shown you that I intend to fulfill my role as the Harbinger? Are we done here?
Joe showed you that he's willing to do what you told him to. How does this Harbinger interpret that?
That's good, but I'm not sure if that really satisfies the short term, does it? As the various eyes and things. Like there's probably a couple eye stalks in there as well as kind of looking over the rest of the group.
I'm not certain as to what I saw, but it seems like you and Eden share memories. Eden is a dear friend to me. Please don't do this. Please don't make me do this.
Well, it's either I subsist as the library or you have to end it. There's not really anything outside the either or, is there?
There is an option. You can choose to walk away. Leave Eden with us. And leave this place. I'd like to use another ruin move. Tremble before me. Your words once swayed gods and broke the gates of heaven. When you speak in your true and ancient voice, all living mortals are driven to despair. When you unleash the dark and enforce your will socially or emotionally, you may choose to mark one ruin. If you do, treat the move as though you rolled an 8 through 10 and choose 4 options instead of 2.
Jeez.
Oh,
Uh, can I ask a question? Has Din done this in front of everybody before?
Nope, this is the first time, and I picked up this move like 3 sessions ago. I haven't had the chance to use it yet.
I'm glad she's on our side.
Take a look at this guy.
They're right behind me, aren't they?
All right.
So I'd like to get past their defenses and inflict a condition.
Okay.
Avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
Mm-hmm.
Expose a weakness or flaw. And get what I want from them.
Okay. What do you want from them?
I want them to leave and let us have Eden.
Okay. Heck. You have 3 conditions to choose from. I will let you answer all of those questions. and you can go ahead and fulfill that the rest of it for Din.
Okay. Yeah. I think terrified is a great one of the conditions to mark off here.
Okay.
As well as the 3 conditions for this creature. Um yeah.
What would be the expose a weakness was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you say that this harbinger's weakness that gets exposed is, in your opinion?
Hmm. I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be like a physical weakness. It could be just kind of any
No?
weakness. Um
Anything you can dream up?
yeah.
Welcome to my job.
I think of like the many eyes kind of looking over the party. There's definitely this um this look of they have a very keen eye for aesthetics and parts of appearances that they seem to focus on just with each person out of any other person. Like for example, they were really looking at the teeth of Joe as they bit into the apple, or they were really looking at Din's hair. They were, you know, really focused on the way that Lucius was fixing his tie. Like just very like minute details that you're able to kind of see. So it was like that hyper focus could be their undoing if you know, you can look at the big picture.
Okay. And how does the harbinger choose to exit as they've been told to leave?
Yeah. I think that I mean, we're in this boiler room. I think it would be very interesting um for this tree to actually be able to physically move out, and the way that these roots move are with the flexibility of that of an octopus. The way that it just kind of like is able to wrap around things and be able to just
Mm-hmm.
become uncannily agile at just kind of a moment's notice that you would not expect.
Mm-hmm. Are you moving the tree that is Eden or the tree that is the harbinger?
Um, well, I mean, if they want Eden back, I mean, I think I have to fulfill that request. I'm not sure if there's
Eden isn't
too
awake
much
yet.
of
You're just the harbinger right now.
yeah. Um yeah, so yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I'd be able to fulfill the request of the move then,
You
I
can
think
just
is the
you can just walk out of the room and go away.
okay. Okay. That's okay. I'll do that. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that would
Yeah,
be something I'd be able to do.
absolutely
Um,
is.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's just kind of, yeah, I guess as the Harbinger's kind of walking away as this
Yeah,
weird
you all
octopus tree.
you all watch this amalgamation of parts and tree limbs walk out of the room. And as you turn back, Eden, I'm going to leave you a message. Uh, as you all turn back, you see Eden dormant in their tree form, one that you've seen them use previously in a time of great distress. How do you all bring Eden back?
I mean, I'll go if nobody else is going. I just don't want to keep going first.
Same. I was gonna let
Oh, I was gonna say I just wanted to figure out like what role do I associate with the doing of the thing. I think that Lucius, infected by the blight of chivalrousness, of that chivalrous nature, will approach the tree that is Eden, and he will like brush a coattail out of off to the side as he gets down onto a knee, and lays an arm across his knee, so he has a very like tender nature, I would say, in means of approach. And he will say, in my life, I have never experienced kindness. I have never experienced warmth until you entered into our lives. This creature may wear your face, but there is no other like you. And he will rest a hand onto one of the roots, and he says, to you we are all but children. So of this I ask of you, can you return? And he will reveal his heart, or at least try.
Can try.
Oh boy! A disastrous success.
You got a bond with Joe you can spend to reduce that by 3?
I
That's
don't
still
have any
disastrous
bonds
if
with
it's 11.
anybody right now. I am bond neutral right now.
Woof.
Neutral.
However, with revealing my heart on an 11 plus, you have a moment of closeness but also weakness. Ask each other, how do I scare you in this moment? After you both answer, you each choose one. Tell them how fearful of them you have become on a scale of 0 to 4. That becomes the number of darkness tokens that they now have, or gain a bond with what the darkness demands of you. So I think on this 14, because it is a disastrous success, he has approached this in a very like, hey, like, come back, it's fine. And he also has the power of a corrupting touch. And so I think that as he puts his hand onto this root, there is a sickening blight that is then extending into the root, like, hey, come on by. But it's like, unconsciously, in the same way that food is digested in a stomach, wearing down that outer layer to try and wear off. Like, in his mind, I've been inside of a weird monster thing, and all it took was Din, like, pulling the raw me out of my monster body. Clearly this is something that needs to happen with Eden, is that they are encased by this tree. So even though he is being very kind and approaching, he is using that as an opportunity to try and corrupt, to try and decay away that rigid outer layer.
Okay. And Eden, you're slowly waking up. This is on the edge of your consciousness still. How does that scare you?
This isn't the first time since, or the first time that Lucius has been there when Eden has just been unearthed from something. He was there at the very beginning of when Eden was found. For this to happen again, does he know something? Maybe he knows too much.
A little paranoia. I see. Joe and Din, do you do anything?
Sorry, to close out the reveal the heart, would you like to gain a bond with what the darkness demands of you, or the darkness? Because those are the two resolutions of the move being used.
So it's a bond. Wait.
So basically, how fearful of me are you on a scale of 1 to 4?
Oh, the darkness tokens, right? Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to get a bond with what the darkness demands of me. I'm going to take that. I'm not afraid of you in this moment, but I am like actively like, give me power.
Gib. Forgive me, please.
Okay. Is everyone's sheets resolved?
Mine is. Yep.
Okay. Joe and Din.
I think Joe's gonna walk over. Um, and for the first time in a very long time, he's gonna speak in his native tongue of Aramaic. Uh, and he's going to say, the only reason that I could, in good conscience, take a bite from that apple is because I know that you will stop me from becoming what they say I am. It figures that it would be you that would remove the thorns from my heart. And thanks to that, and he looks over at Aoife, and he just finishes with, please wake up. And he's going to call Eden mother in Aramaic, which is what Eden is referred to in the Bible a few times, which is Aamea, uh, a Aamea, if I recall correctly.
That sounds like an open your heart.
It is.
All right.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna use one darkness token. Perfect.
Good job.
Your heart reaches theirs. Choose one if they are PC. They choose to deepen the connection further. They choose one, too. And I think, I think, um, you grow closer and gain one bond.
Okay.
Get that bond back that I spent earlier.
There you go.
All right. You're both picking a bond?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Din, what are you doing?
I think Din also sort of kneels down with a hand on one of the roots. I'm ashamed I did not see it before it happened. You are so precious to all of us. I will never let this happen to you again. Please wake up.
I think we can count that as a reveal your heart as well.
I'd love to. I'd love to spend a couple darkness tokens. Don't have enough bonds to make it anything less than a disaster success. I don't have 2 bonds with Eden, and I only have a bond with the fake Eden for saving their life.
You can still send that.
But it still would only knock it down by 1, unfortunately.
Okay.
One of those sweet, sweet Joe bonds.
I don't have any bonds with you, you nerd, because you hate me.
All right. For the 2 of you, how do you
So
scare each other in this moment?
I think the fact that Din was so easily fooled by the Harbinger. Din does not know. Din thinks back to the fact that Eden shared in Din's first meal. In Muriel's first meal. and does not know where the imposter begins and where Eden ends. Does not know how deep the subterfuge goes. Did Din like Eden, or did Din like the imposter?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that is two sides of the same coin. It's afraid of Din for the fact that they didn't know, and who knows for how long.
Comments on the periphery as you're waking Eden. It's terrifying. What do you mean? You thought someone else was me. All right, both of you can now choose. Tell them how fearful you have become of them on a scale of 0 to 4. That becomes the number of darkness tokens you now have, or gain a bond with what the darkness demands of you.
I'll take the bond this time.
Okay.
I don't want to throw Torn between on top of this too.
The thing is,
mechanically.
we choose for each other.
Oh.
But I will give you the bond.
I don't think you
Because
have to
it
choose
says,
for each other.
tell them how fearful you have become of them on a scale from 0 to 4. That becomes the number of darkness tokens they now have. Or gain a bond with what the darkness demands of you.
Gotcha. Yeah, so someone can technically assign you darkness tokens.
Oh.
But I'm gonna say you can take the bond. I will also take a bond with what the darkness demands of me.
Okay. Eden, as you hear these people talking, a fourth voice speaks up, reaching up to touch one of the branches. I don't know if we've even met yet, but I'd like to. As Aoife speaks out as well. And there is the soft panting of Larry nearby and the thump of a tail as he lays down between the roots on the floor. There's a small whine as his head rests down on one as he looks at the rest of the group. And this is where you wake up. What does that look like for Eden?
I think that yeah, I feel like it's too on the nose for the tree to just like open up from the trunk. I feel like instead more and more branches just kind of grow from the canopy of this, and the smell of rot and decay begins to subside again back to the more fragrant and alluring scent of what a normal healthy apple tree smells like. And as more of these branches and the foliage and everything begins to kind of obscure that whole like view, almost of like just the entire ceiling. More branches just kind of reach back down and cradling the regular body of Eden, as the rest of the group knows, kind of sets her down. She's all just looking at all of you, just wide-eyed.
Lucius will just like take off his jacket and then like put it around Eden, and then looks and sees the "ask me about my hunger" thing on the back of the coat, and he just like tears it off and like lets it like drift off to the side.
There you all are. Which room is this?
Go over. Glad you're up and about, though.
Was I not?
What
What
is
are
the
you
last
talking
thing you
about?
remember?
We were just getting outside that one room. Well, there was a bunch. That one room in the oldest house.
So the setting has changed a little. We are no longer in the oldest house. That was a success. That being said, we are in a parasitic library. There are 2 Agent Yateses, and apparently there are 2 of you as well. The second one of which has decided to take your name and face and is roaming through this parasitic library with a tree made of crab itself.
Eden, as you hear all this, you sense a duality to your memory. You remember things as they were, but it's also like you're seeing things through the eyes of another at times. You begin to get the sense that it's very difficult to tell some of your memories apart from whoever this Harbinger is, almost as if at one time you were one.
Oh, that's really weird.
You're telling us.
Yeah, well,
Are you... Do we have cause to believe you that you are who you say you are?
I mean, I hope so. Can I prove that?
It's okay. It's like what the Shade of once was said about this place. It's where everything converges and leaves. It's where we found our heart.
Gates, Eden, Aoife, all individuals that have doubles. Logically, that means that any one of them could be whatever the hell that thing was. And we can spend as much time as we want to pointing the finger and questioning and poking and prodding and trying to decide if we believe that they are who they say they are. I choose to believe this is Eden. I choose to believe this is Aoife. And I think I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I don't think I'm a Harbinger. Aoife speaks up.
A Harbinger, not you are a pain in my ass, so
I like spending time with you too.
Out of sheer
Lucius,
curiosity, Lucius pulls out the document that had the name cut out it, but was surely Eden. Eden, can you try to read this for me?
Oh, okay. What? Just take the file.
yeah. You see a file documenting someone. There is a photo of someone who looks like you. You don't have recollection of the events that are written on it.
Rats.
Like, it looks like me, but I don't remember any of this stuff. That, quite frankly, I don't know what I remember and what is this other thing that I somehow have memories of now or from.
Lucius
It's
will take
like
the document back and just pocket it.
Lucius, you said your powers to absorb information.
Yep.
Aoife walks over to you. You can almost see the wheels turning behind her eyes as she is in science mode. How exactly does that work? Is it a cataloging process? Is it like an eidetic memory?
Are you familiar with the idea that we pass, similar to how we know that fire is hot without necessarily being taught, or to be afraid of spiders, or those basic fears, that there's a belief that it is passed on through genetics, through a base core of human. It is sort of like that, in that if I taste something, if I savor it, I can access parts of the memory, parts of the feeling, parts of whatever it is that I consume.
She contemplates this, pacing a little bit near you all, and then turns to you again, Lucius. Is that where you were trying to grab me at Joe's party?
No, I was trying to kiss the top of your hand, as I thought that was how you were supposed to introduce yourself politely. I don't attend many parties.
Oh. All right, well, if you are consuming information at a, we'll say, instinctual level, then it goes without saying you could potentially see beyond any bullshit that someone could try and block. I don't know. Can people block that sort of thing? I don't know
With
how all your powers work, but do it. And she
Wait,
holds out your
what?
hand to you. Do it. Taste me. Go on. Tell me if I'm a harbinger.
He'll look at Joe.
Oh no, this doesn't involve him. This is you and me. Go on. We're gonna figure this out.
He nods. And he will
Just
yeah.
don't be weird about it.
So she extends her hand. Is it face down, face up?
She just has her hand palm up to you.
Yeah, I
She
think
doesn't know what to do, so she's just like, here's my hand.
he'll take the hand and sort of like look it over. And then he will take her hand on the bottom and then put his hand over the top. And what she doesn't see is that the palm of his hand extends open into a mouth, and he is just going to latch on to the top as he attempts to savor some of that.
Okay. She grimaces a bit. Go ahead and instead of actually, yeah, roll your darkness, unless you have a specific move you'd like to use in this
It
place.
is part of my powers, is saber sampling. So just unleash the dark.
Let's do it.
Or would this be a grasp at keys?
It's a little bit of both, but since you're actually using your powers, we're gonna have to make sure that you can control them.
Sounds good. I can't.
Oh no. What's the fail on this one for you?
A fail on Unleash the Dark is I have greatly underestimated them, and the Keeper will describe the desperate position I find myself in.
Okay. You are so used to feeding on harbingers. It's been a long time since you tasted pure grade A homegrown human.
A lab-grown human, because she's a clone.
Mm.
Store-bought is fine, too.
It'll work in a pinch.
You zoom in almost as though you are experiencing every experience Aoife has ever had in her life. You are a toddler, learning to walk on a hardwood floor and tipping over, bumping into the coffee table. You hear the rattle of the coffee cup and vase as it falls to the floor. You are a 7-year-old learning how to ride a bike with training wheels on. The bicycle is green with blue streamers. And you hear one of your mothers encouraging you. You're sitting at a table in your teens, struggling to understand algebra. The numbers just don't click. Why can't you just sit with your books like you actually want to? This is so dumb. You're never going to use this as an adult. This isn't even what you want to study. You're on a field trip your senior year of high school at a natural history museum. Everyone else is busy on cell phones, texting, taking selfies. You're the only one reading through the little descriptions that the curators have put on the displays. You're enamored with the dinosaurs, walking up to the volunteer staff, asking them every question imaginable. They are annoyed with you, but you don't stop asking questions. You're in a lecture hall in college, listening to a paleontologist talk about their work. You're in your master's program, working on your thesis. Then your doctorate, expanding on what your professors guided you to, narrowing your focus. Finally, you're graduating and walking across that stage, being awarded your doctorate after all that hard work. You're working a entry-level position, nonetheless, at a local museum. They deal in tenure. No one's retired yet. You're there for years, paid well below what you're worth, but you're determined that this is the Natural History Museum of Chicago. This is where you want to work. You love this city. You've enjoyed every moment you've spent here since you moved. And you watch these memories flash one after another, after another, after another, right up until the day Aoife meets Joe, having received an invitation to a party one of her friends thought sounded fun. Picking out the dress, going with the original sin theme. Whoever is throwing this has some real religious trauma that they're done packing. You see you yourself and the other members of your party for the first time through Aoife's eyes. You see Joe barging into your place of work, stumbling through an explanation and holding a sword in the office, a look of sheer panic across his face, not knowing what to do. You're changing into a little black dress. You're walking into the door of a little diner after telling Joe, don't let them see that this bothers you. You're being told unimaginable things. An angel is using the restroom for the first time. You can't make this stuff up. You wish it were just a novel. But it's not, and you're going to help as best you can. Then you're walking through the doors of division. Everyone says that they're going to protect you. You see the real Loch Ness Monster. Holy crap, is the Loveland Frog real too? Joe tells you that he's leaving you with the freaking Loch Ness Monster, who apparently is well versed in everything that goes on here. You can probably get some answers about Joe if you're careful. Enough girl talk will get you anything, after all. Nah, enough girl talk and some good coffee anyways. And then Joe's rushing back in a panic, saying that you need to go with him, and you watch more events unfold as she has walked with you through this library and this mission. This is a whole person. There isn't a gap. There isn't a day missing. but you are trapped in this loop of memory, feeding off of Aoife. The rest of you watch as Lucius, almost salivatingly, is locked hand in hand with Aoife. It's not looking good. He's hungry, but how hungry is he? He's not letting go. He
Oh.
never holds on to anyone this long, even a Harbinger.
Tackle. Goldberg. Spear.
Jackhammer.
Okay. Joe is going to try and tackle Lucius. What are the rest of you doing?
Oh, also. Hands check. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Is the whole party doing a full body tackle?
Yeah, or just taking some measure to try to like separate their hands.
I think
Like,
I'll grab hold of Aoife to pull one direction if Eden wants to
Okay,
grab
yeah,
Lucius
I'll
to pull the other
pull the
after he
other-
gets
yeah, great.
tackled.
love it.
Okay. You Looney Tunes tackle and pull these two apart. And I will say, as the keeper of doors, that is plenty of force between Superman strength, a literal biblical angel, and the Garden of frickin' Eden. You are all able to extract Lucius in this moment. But Lucius, you will always have those memories permanently etched in your own mind of Aoife's life. From toddlerhood till now. Yeah. And I think on that note is where we'll leave it. And we will pick up the rest of the Parasitic Library next time, as we are 15 minutes over. Sorry, everybody.
Hey, that's no worries. Thank you so much for running this game. I always love whenever you're on this channel. Oh my God, what a fantastic session, Sarah. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is Sarah Roberts. You can find me all over the internet as the Hype Goblin. You can find me here Sunday nights running this game for these wonderful people. On Thursday nights, you can normally find me running Luck and Chaos, a 5e homebrew campaign that talks about, a lot of third-party published content, because I don't use any official content that is not in the SRD, because one of the best parts of the D&D community is the people who write supplementary content for it. There are some truly wonderful folks that we have gotten to highlight throughout the course of our campaign. We are currently at level 5. So if you would like to join us for that adventure, we do that Thursday nights, but there is also a podcast version of that show, as well as a podcast version of my 2E Pathfinder campaign, which is currently on hiatus as our GM needed some time away. Because you know what? Real life happens. But you can check out that either on YouTube, or you can check out the audio cast version of that as well. That is Nexus Adventures. If you would like to find me this coming weekend, you can join me on April 6th, 6th to the 7th. I will be in one of 8 campaigns over on twitch.tv/Saucefire, as Saucefire is once again putting on the 5th year of Mercy Road. This year, we are saving time because time itself is dying or breaking or both. I don't know. There's a horse with a lot of clocks on it. It's going to be fun, y'all. But Saucefire does this every single year, raising money for Child's Play charity, 8 games over 24 hours. And he only takes a tiny break in between each game. And I don't know how he does it. But it is a lot of fun. There are a lot of really cool giveaways this year. I've been on the giveaway committee for the first time. They've got a lot of really cool stuff lined up. So if you're interested in coming and hanging out with us, even if you can't donate during the campaign, every little bit helps. Every boost, every retweet, every repost, just sitting with us in chat and occasionally sending a message. And you can potentially win some really cool stuff just by being there. So thank you to all of the sponsors for that are going to be a part of that. Thank you everyone in advance for coming and hanging out with me next weekend. I'm going to be really sleepy next Sunday when I run this game, but it's going to be worth it. That's me.
And Noir, where can we find you?
Oh,
What do you
yes,
do?
that's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Blue Sky, Hive, the whole shebang bang. every Monday. You can find me over on Alt Haven. We are on the later end of our show Beacon, which is a free League Aliens game. I play a doctor with 2 hit points. And again, we're on our third season. I don't know how I did that. Um, every other Tuesday, you can find me on Crit Hit Chronicles, where we are doing a Daggerheart game. I play a dwarf by the name of Mar Drakebreaker. He hates dragons. On Fridays, you can find me over on JigCon TV for Table Takes, where I host a TTRPG news show with Paul Atkinson, Bonsai Baby, and Javion. It's a good time all the time. Uh, and of course, every Saturday morning, you can find me over on my partner's channel, Critical Misses, for Morning Ritual. We're interviewing a puppet this week, right?
Correct. Chad the
Yeah.
bird.
Jet the
What?
bird. It's gonna
God.
be if you check out TikTok, he's pretty big there and he's hilarious and he's a puppet. I love working with puppets.
Everybody's favorite avian op-ed columnist, Chad the bird on Chad the bird talk.
Yes.
Oh,
I've seen
Uh,
this guy.
Yeah. He's awesome. We're gonna talk to him. Puppet form.
Listen, I
Hell
got glamour
yeah.
shots from a puppet. I was so
Yeah.
excited.
So please come and check that out. That's it. You can stop receiving me now. I'm stressed and worried about my fictional baby.
I guess that's me then. Hi, I'm Anita. My pronouns are she, they, and I've been Din this evening. And yeah, you can find me on Critical Misses on Fridays. Our series finale of Warren Guard ends this Friday, which just finished up its Kickstarter. So if you wanted to back it, too late. You might be able to get future things on BackerKit if they open it up to the public after the fact. But you can find me Fridays for Warren Guard. After that, Saturdays for Morning Ritual. We've got Chad the Bird this week. And I'm also on Start Playing Games, running a Kids on Bikes campaign every other Saturday, as well as Star Trek Adventures. We alternate Saturdays on those. You can also find me over on Magpie Games as part of their curated play program. I am a professional GM for them, so you can, if you want me to run some Avatar Legends, or some Urban Shadows 2, or some Masks: The Next Generation, basically any of the Magpie Games catalog, I can GM it for you. Check their website for details on when. Help me pay my bills. That's it for me.
All right, I think that takes it to me. Hey, everybody, it's me, SirHeckaLot. I'm here. I'm on your screen, and I was back with Eden today. This was a wild session.
Were
I
you?
can't wait to maybe for part of it. We're gonna talk about Nights in the Courtyard. All right, we're gonna talk about it. We have a lot to talk about. But first off, you can find me all over the internet at SirHeckaLot, including Twitch, Itch, I guess Twitter as long as supplies last, etc., etc. Just find me. It's the best place to figure out where I'm gonna be in the TTRPG space next, because I tend to wander a lot and wear a lot of hats and do a lot of things. But I'm actually, I think, off this week for streaming. I don't know if I have something tomorrow. I might not. I don't know. If I am, I'm gonna be on Neon Lights with another episode of Oathsworn Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. But we actually might be off this week. So yeah, I'm actually gonna take this time to talk about something I'm really proud of that I did on Friday. I did a whole ass surgery myself, which is real cool.
I'm so proud of you,
Cool,
future Dr. Heckalot.
cool DVM stuff. So if you like to see posts about cool things that I'm doing in the veterinary world, um go see what I'm doing on socials, because that's where I talk about it. But yeah, actually, let's talk about my itch page too, because that doesn't get enough love. You should go check me out on itch, because I've made some cool games. Like Final Girl Simulator. It's a 2-player game where one person is playing as killer, one person is playing as the final girl. You have to see who wins. It's a card-based game. It's a really good time. Um, Also, another game that I actually haven't seen played yet. I'm very curious to see if someone will play Snakes and Planes at some point. It's where you are a bunch of snake pilots and you get in dogfights as a bunch of snake pilots. And I'm very curious to see if the game actually works. I don't know if it does. I never play tested it, but I wrote
That
it.
sounds delightful.
It's a very silly little game, and yeah, that's the things that you can find on my itch page. There's a bunch of more stuff, but those are two of them. Go find out, or go to my itch page to see what the other ones are, because there's some wild stuff on there. But yeah, I've talked entirely too much, so take it away, Simon.
Look, before I even get into my bit, I will say being friends with Heck on social media means that almost unprompted, you will receive CT scans of a tapir that they found online, and it was like the
Yeah.
coolest 20 minutes that I've ever had because I just got to look at CT scans of a tapir. I didn't realize that was just free for people to go and view, but hey, that's the kind of stuff that you find on the Discord when Heck decides to stop by. So it's a good time. If you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey, Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Monday and 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. And this is going to be the weirdest connection of things, but hey, you know how Sarah was just talking about Mercy Road? Hey, you know how Anita and Noir were talking about puppets? I am going to also be on Mercy Road, and one of the people in my Mercy Road pod is Merrimack the Puppet Wizard. So I will also be playing D&D with a puppet on my time slot for Mercy Road. So hey, that is going to be the 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Slot for Eastern Time, which, you know, y'all give me shit about being in the PST until it's time for a late night opportunity, and then suddenly I am full of energy and very much awake. So consider stopping by and checking that out, going to help support Mercy Road. It is a great cause. I love it very dearly. That being said, we are going to be heading off into that Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to, again, join us at patreon.com/Indoor Adventures. And it's going to be the best place to ask those questions. But for now, we are going to be heading out for the evening. So I wanted to say once again, thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by. Thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again. And thank you to Sarah for putting on an absolutely fantastic game. We couldn't have any of this without you. And with that, we will see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.